That's him. This picture represents him. That contains the whole problem of representation. What is the criterion? How is it to be verified that this picture is the portrait of that object, i.e., that it is meant to represent it? It is not similarity that makes the picture a portrait. It might be a striking resemblance of one person, and yet be a portrait of someone else it resembles less. Who is Ludwig Wittgenstein? There were so many. There was the early Wittgenstein and the late Wittgenstein, and of course there is now just the late Wittgenstein. He was a boy who didn't talk until he was 4 years old. He was an engineer who designed propellers. He was a school teacher in rural Austria. He was an architect who designed an elaborate modernist house for his wealthy sister. He was one of the richest men in Europe after his father died, but he gave all his money away and lived off of his wages. He was a whistler and a lover of music. He was an aesthete. He was a homosexual. He was an exile. He was a lover of movies and pulp fiction. He was a Cambridge professor who shouted down his opponents in the Moral Sciences Club. He published one thin book in his life, but when he died, he left behind 20,000 pages of notes. He is remembered because he was a philosopher, perhaps the greatest of the 20th century. Number 88 is not used on German football teams because of the special meaning it has in neo-Nazi circles. H is the 8th letter of the alphabet, so 88 becomes HH, meaning Heil Hitler. Wittgenstein noted that there was nothing to distinguish someone's raising his arm from someone's arm going up, though the distinction between even the simplest action and a mere bodily movement seems fundamental to the way we think of our freedom. Hitler had something to hide, something as obvious as the nose on his face. His grandmother, his father's mother, Maria Anna Schickelgruber, was employed in the home of the wealthy Jewish Baron Rothschild when, unexpectedly, she discovered that she was pregnant